Thailand, the land of smiles and vibrant lights. But beneath its beauty lies a fierce underground war between two notorious criminal factions, the Bangkok Mafia and the Pattaya crime syndicates. One represents traditional power, the other embodies modern audacity. But who truly controls the darkness? Let's find out. Bangkok and Pattaya, two iconic cities of Thailand, are also the origins of the country's two most powerful underground forces. The Bangkok Mafia and the Pattaya crime syndicates, though sharing the goal of controlling power and resources, emerged from entirely different eras and circumstances, leading to contrasting strategies and modes of operation. The Bangkok Mafia was born in the 1950s when Bangkok was transitioning from a traditional urban area into an economic and political hub. This transformation created a power vacuum in the new urban zones where the law could not keep pace with development. Chinese gangs, who brought family-centric and traditional organizational cultures when they immigrated to Thailand, quickly seized this opportunity. Initially, these small groups focused on activities such as market racketeering, smuggling, and operating underground businesses. Over time, they unified to form the Bangkok Mafia, a formidable organization capable of controlling key economic zones in the capital. For the Bangkok Mafia, tradition plays an incredibly important role. Values such as loyalty, family bonds, and respect for hierarchy became foundational to how this organization operates. But they did not stop there. The Bangkok Mafia also adapted to modern times. They infiltrated legitimate industries such as real estate, construction, transportation, and financial services. Each sector is tightly controlled, creating a sprawling network of power that blankets the capital. In contrast, the Pattaya crime syndicates emerged later, in the 1970s, as Pattaya began to attract international tourists. Unlike the Bangkok Mafia, this organization was not born out of domestic development but rather the tourism boom. Pattaya, once a small fishing village, quickly transformed into an international tourist destination with beaches, resorts, and vibrant nightlife. This change created a significant opportunity for local and international criminal groups, leading to the formation of the Pattaya crime syndicates. Unlike the traditional structure of the Bangkok Mafia, the Pattaya crime syndicates operate in a flexible manner, with little to no fixed hierarchy. Small groups connect based on shared interests, pooling resources and information. This flexibility allows them to quickly adapt to changes in the tourism market and new opportunities. However, it also makes them less stable and unified compared to the Bangkok Mafia. The story of the origins of these two organizations reflects the social contexts in which they developed. The Bangkok Mafia was built out of the need to maintain order in a chaotic, developing city. They became the hidden protectors of markets and small businesses but did not hesitate to use violence to ensure loyalty. In contrast, the Pattaya crime syndicates grew in the freedom of a tourist city where the law was too weak to manage the chaos. They maximized this looseness to run activities such as nightclubs, gambling, and smuggling. The question arises: do these differing origins and developmental contexts give either organization a long-term advantage? Will the Bangkok Mafia, with its stability and structured organization, easily weather the storms of changing times? Or will the Pattaya crime syndicates, with their flexibility and adaptability, dominate in a globalized world? Each side has its strengths, but it is these differences that make their rivalry all the more fascinating. Additionally, the resources utilized by each organization play a significant role in shaping these differences. The Bangkok Mafia, deeply entrenched in legitimate economic sectors, has a stable and sustainable financial base. They control long-term revenue streams, giving the organization the strength to endure across generations. Conversely, the Pattaya crime syndicates rely heavily on short-term income, particularly from tourism and smuggling. While lucrative in the short run, dependence on an industry as volatile as tourism can be a double-edged sword. Another intriguing aspect is the culture and philosophy driving these two organizations. The Bangkok Mafia, closely tied to tradition, prioritizes internal stability and loyalty. New members must undergo strict vetting processes, and only those with close family or personal connections are allowed to join. This makes the organization difficult to penetrate but also limits diversity in operations. Pattaya crime syndicates, on the other hand, are willing to collaborate with anyone who offers mutual benefits, whether international gangs or small local groups. This diversity makes them more adaptable but also prone to internal conflicts when interests diverge. The history and origins of the Bangkok Mafia and Pattaya crime syndicates are not just stories of the formation of two criminal organizations but also reflections of how Thai society has changed over time. One symbolizes traditional power and stability, while the other represents freedom and adaptability. This not only highlights the contrast between the two organizations but also raises larger questions about their futures. Can the Bangkok Mafia maintain its position in a rapidly changing world? Or will the Pattaya crime syndicates rise to dominance through their ability to seize opportunities? The answer will depend not only on their origins and how they grew but also on how they confront the challenges of the present and the future. Looking back at the origins of the Bangkok Mafia and the Pattaya crime syndicates, one thing is clear. The formation and development of these two organizations not only reflect societal history but also shape how they operate today. The differences in their founding contexts have led to distinct development strategies, resulting in divergent methods of expanding influence and territorial control. The Bangkok Mafia, rooted in the capital, has always viewed territorial control as a matter of survival. Bangkok is not only the economic center but also the political heart of Thailand. Whoever holds power here effectively controls the entire nation. The organization quickly recognized that to maintain dominance, they needed not only to seize territories but also to control financial flows. This drove the Bangkok Mafia to deeply penetrate industries such as real estate, construction, and transportation. Every major project and market in the city has, to some extent, come under their influence. Beyond this, the Bangkok Mafia skillfully leverages political connections to solidify their power. Instead of directly opposing the government, they choose to integrate and even collaborate with influential individuals or organizations. This allows them to sustainably expand their territory, harnessing the power of both the underground and legitimate worlds. However, this approach also ties them to political changes. Whenever political power shifts in the capital, the Bangkok Mafia must adjust their strategy, sometimes sacrificing short-term interests to maintain long-term relationships. In contrast, the Pattaya crime syndicates lack the territorial stability of the Bangkok Mafia. Pattaya, as an international tourist city, does not hold central political or economic significance. Instead of focusing on directly controlling territories, this organization adopts a more flexible strategy. They do not aim to dominate specific areas but rather concentrate on key industries such as entertainment, gambling, and goods transportation. One factor contributing to the success of the Pattaya crime syndicates is their ability to exploit the chaos of the tourism industry. Every year, millions of tourists from around the world flock to Pattaya, bringing with them streams of money and demand for entertainment. This creates a perfect environment for the organization to run its underground activities. They control nightclubs, casinos, and sensitive services, while also using seaports for smuggling goods and contraband. This enables the Pattaya crime syndicates to generate significant revenue and establish a strong international network. The difference between these two strategies raises an intriguing question. Does the Bangkok Mafia's focus on domestic power provide a long-term advantage? Or is the flexibility of the Pattaya crime syndicates the deciding factor in the modern world? The Bangkok Mafia, with their tight control and long-term strategy, can create a stable power system. But this stability comes with a slower pace of adaptation to major changes. Meanwhile, the Pattaya crime syndicates, despite lacking tight control, have the ability to seize opportunities and expand territory quickly. However, this flexibility also makes them susceptible to internal instability, as smaller groups within the organization compete for their own interests. Another critical point in how the two organizations expand their territory is their use of violence and intimidation. The Bangkok Mafia, thanks to their connections with government officials, often uses soft power to achieve their goals. They rarely resort to public violence, opting instead for measures like economic or political pressure. This helps them maintain an image of discreet power, minimizing attention from the public and law enforcement. In contrast, the Pattaya crime syndicates are unafraid of open violence. In an environment where the law is weak and chaos is the norm, violence is sometimes seen as the quickest way to resolve issues. Bloody retaliations, internal purges, and public displays of power are not uncommon in Pattaya. This has created a reputation for the organization as both fearsome and enigmatic. However, the contrasting use of violence also highlights the philosophical differences in how the two organizations operate. The Bangkok Mafia focuses on maintaining long-term stability and control, while the Pattaya crime syndicates prioritize speed and efficiency. This leads to a deeper question. What is the optimal path for a criminal organization to survive and grow in the modern world? Is stability and long-term strategy strong enough to counter flexibility and rapid adaptability? Or vice versa? These differences extend beyond how the two organizations expand territory to how they view the world. The Bangkok Mafia sees power as a network of relationships, where control is built over time and relies on loyalty. The Pattaya crime syndicates, on the other hand, view power as an ever-changing game where the winner is the one who can adapt the fastest. This fundamental opposition has created an unrelenting battle between the two forces. A battle that not only takes place within Thailand but also extends globally, where every move can shift the balance of power. The profound differences in how the Bangkok Mafia and Pattaya crime syndicates expand their territories and wield power lead to another key aspect of their rivalry: the reputation and fear each organization has cultivated. In the underworld, reputation is not merely an external image, it is a strategic weapon. A tool to maintain power and gain an edge over rivals. Interestingly, these two organizations, operating within the same country, have built their reputations in entirely opposing ways. The Bangkok Mafia, with its long history and deep ties to traditional social structures, has shaped its reputation through discreet yet effective control. This organization avoids loud, public displays of violent power. Instead, they leave a lasting impression by wielding soft power, deep penetration into economic sectors and close relationships with high-ranking officials. Those who live and work in Bangkok understand that there are areas and industries where just mentioning the Bangkok Mafia's name ensures resolution. The fear they inspire does not stem from direct threats but from the awareness that all decisions are controlled behind the scenes by invisible yet powerful individuals. This reputation not only garners respect within the local community but also makes them a difficult organization to overthrow. By keeping their activities in a gray area, where the law struggles to intervene directly, the Bangkok Mafia has sustained its existence across generations, weathering significant social and political changes. However, this approach also makes them vulnerable to sudden shifts in the political system. If a strategic relationship is severed, or if political power shifts to a group with conflicting interests, the organization could face serious risks in maintaining its position. In contrast, the Pattaya crime syndicates have built their reputation on boldness, directness, and, at times, overt displays of power. In the chaotic environment of Pattaya, where international tourists pour in daily and the law often exists only on paper, this organization has chosen a path of leaving a strong impression through public actions. Open acts of retaliation, displays of violence in nightclubs or sensitive areas, are not only warnings to those who challenge them but also a way to assert dominance over rivals. The reputation of the Pattaya crime syndicates extends beyond local boundaries. Through the international network they have established, stories of their danger and sophistication have spread far beyond Thailand. International gangs cooperating with the Pattaya crime syndicates see them not just as reliable partners but as an organization willing to act decisively to protect their interests. As a result, their reputation is not only a source of dread for local organizations but also a cause of concern for international forces dealing with them in anti-smuggling or transnational crime operations. However, the way Pattaya crime syndicates build their reputation also brings unintended consequences. Their frequent use of public violence has made them a target for law enforcement crackdowns. Unlike the Bangkok Mafia, whose operations are skillfully concealed, the Pattaya crime syndicates are more easily identified and tracked, especially as international agencies increasingly focus on combating cross-border crime. This creates a dangerous cycle in which they must escalate violence to maintain power. But this escalation also makes them more vulnerable to suppression. Interestingly, both the Bangkok Mafia and Pattaya crime syndicates understand the importance of reputation but choose entirely different paths to achieve it. The Bangkok Mafia builds fear through silent, enduring power, while the Pattaya crime syndicates cultivate an image of danger and boldness to assert their position. The question is, which approach is more effective in the long run? Can the stability of the Bangkok Mafia endure under the pressures of the modern world? Or will the audacity of the Pattaya crime syndicates prove to be the deciding factor in an increasingly globalized context? The answer is far from simple, as each approach has its own strengths and weaknesses. The Bangkok Mafia may maintain dominance in the capital and internal stability, but they are highly dependent on external factors such as political systems or changes in economic structures. The Pattaya crime syndicates, while flexible and able to expand rapidly, face risks from internal instability and the attention of law enforcement agencies. This fundamental opposition has created a prolonged battle between the two organizations, a battle not only for power but also for philosophy and approach. In the world of crime, reputation is not only a tool to maintain power but also a vital part of survival strategy. The fear an organization instills can become a protective wall against resistance. But it can also be the reason they become a target. The Bangkok Mafia and Pattaya crime syndicates, with their contrasting methods of building reputations, demonstrate that power stems not only from actions but also from how one is perceived by rivals and the community. This conflict, which outwardly appears to be a clash between two forces, is, in reality, a confrontation between two views of the underworld and power. The rivalry between the Bangkok Mafia and the Pattaya crime syndicates becomes even more pronounced when examining their strategies for territorial control and power expansion. In the criminal underworld, power is derived not only from internal resources or alliances but also from how an organization imposes its influence over a given area. Territorial control is not merely a geographical issue but encompasses psychological, economic, and social domination of the region. The Bangkok Mafia, deeply rooted in the capital, has built its power on comprehensive control over key areas of the city. Bangkok is not only the economic and political center of Thailand but also a crucial gateway for nationwide trade. The organization understands that to control Bangkok, one must control the flow of money and the individuals who wield power. As such, their strategy focuses heavily on infiltrating major industries such as real estate, construction, and public transportation. Every major marketplace and arterial road in the city falls, to some extent, under the influence of the Bangkok Mafia. This not only ensures a steady and sustainable income but also creates an invisible yet undeniable presence in all aspects of the city's operations. A critical element of the Bangkok Mafia's territorial control strategy is maintaining order. Although they are a criminal organization, they are often regarded by small businesses and local residents as protectors. By enforcing their own rules, the Bangkok Mafia ensures that no one dares to challenge their power while also creating a stable business environment for those who agree to comply. This increases the community's dependence on the organization, further solidifying their power without the frequent need for violence. However, this strategy also requires the Bangkok Mafia to maintain a complex network of relationships with government officials and law enforcement, making them vulnerable if these connections are severed. In stark contrast, the Pattaya crime syndicates do not focus on fixed territorial control but opt for a strategy of exploiting areas based on timing and opportunity. Pattaya, characterized as an international tourist city, offers constant fluctuations in money flow, people movement, and new opportunities. This chaos and lack of control create an ideal environment for the Pattaya crime syndicates to establish their power. Instead of investing in controlling a specific area entirely, the organization focuses on highly lucrative industries such as entertainment, gambling, illicit services, and smuggling. They dominate nightclubs and major entertainment venues, where cash flow is highest, and government oversight is weakest. A noteworthy aspect of the Pattaya crime syndicate's operations is that they do not merely capitalize on short-term opportunities but also build international networks to maintain revenue streams. With a strategic location and access to seaports, the organization has established an efficient cross-border smuggling system. They transport drugs, weapons, and other contraband along maritime routes. These activities not only boost their income but also extend their influence beyond Thailand's borders, creating a power network that is challenging to control. However, The flexible and opportunistic approach of the Pattaya crime syndicates also comes with limitations. The lack of a tightly controlled system can lead to internal conflicts when interests between smaller factions within the organization diverge. Additionally, their heavy reliance on tourism and foreign visitors makes the organization vulnerable to major disruptions such as global economic downturns or stricter border control policies. Nonetheless, this flexibility also gives them a significant advantage: the ability to quickly adapt and seize opportunities that other organizations cannot. The contrast in territorial control strategies between the Bangkok Mafia and Pattaya crime syndicates not only highlights their operational methods but also raises critical questions about the long-term effectiveness of each approach. The Bangkok Mafia, with its stability and extensive control over a specific area, can easily sustain power across generations. However, this also makes them slower to adapt to significant changes, particularly in an increasingly globalized world. Conversely, the Pattaya crime syndicates, with their flexibility and opportunism, can rapidly expand their reach but struggle to maintain long-term stability. Another intriguing point of difference is how the two organizations handle challenges from rivals or authorities. The Bangkok Mafia, leveraging its close ties with high-ranking officials, often negotiates or uses soft power to resolve issues. In contrast, the Pattaya crime syndicates, with their bold and direct approach, frequently resort to violence or strong-arm tactics to achieve their goals. This method makes them more intimidating to the public and rivals but also makes them an easier target for crackdowns. These differences not only reflect two entirely opposing operational philosophies but also clarify why the rivalry between the Bangkok Mafia and Pattaya crime syndicates is so existential. One represents stability and tradition, while the other embodies flexibility and innovation. This battle, more than just a struggle for power, is a confrontation between two different approaches to survival and growth in the criminal underworld. Every move they make not only shapes the fate of their organizations but also significantly impacts the landscape of crime in the region and beyond. The rivalry between the Bangkok Mafia and the Pattaya crime syndicates is not just a tale of underground power but also a lesson in survival in an ever-changing world. Will the tradition and stability of the Bangkok Mafia help them endure into the future? Or will the flexibility and international connections of the Pattaya crime syndicates redefine the balance of power? Who do you think truly rules the shadows? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you found this story intriguing, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future content. Let's discuss and delve deeper into the hidden world that few ever see.